ignition interlock is a device that you put into your car. I say device, it's a thing. It's a tube with a little mouthpiece on the end of it that you blow into. And that is supposed to detect whether or not you have alcohol in your system. So it's something that's literally wired into your car. It's like wiring in a new stereo. And it's a tube that comes out and it sits right next to you, and you are supposed to blow into it whenever you start your car. And then there are times while you're driving that the little alarm will go off and you're supposed to blow into it to make sure that you're not drinking while driving. Ignition interlock is something that oftentimes go hand in hand with second, third, fourth, or higher level DWIs. So many times when somebody is a repeat offender on DWIs, they end up with ignition interlocks in their car, either through the Department of Revenue or through the court system. So either one can order somebody to go get ignition interlock. There are also ways that a first-time offender can get ignition interlock, but they almost have to try to get there. What I first tell my clients when they call and say, I got a DWI and I got all these letters in the mail for ignition interlock, do I need to go get one? I say, no. Those letters that people get in the beginning of DWIs for ignition interlock are solicitation letters. They are letters from people trying to trick you into getting ignition interlock in your car. Do not go get that until your attorney tells you to get ignition interlock, or you're forced to by the court or Department of Revenue. Of course, your attorney will help you walk through that process. If you have ignition interlock installed on your car, you have to blow into it to get started. That happens 100% of the time. And if there is a false positive or something that's in your system that would prevent it from starting up, that creates a whole series of problems. And when I say false positive, my clients usually freak out. Like, what's a false positive? How does that happen? I have literally seen, I've been to trainings where I've seen somebody use mouthwash and the ignition interlock not work. I have been to trainings where I've seen people eat Casey's pizza and then blow into the ignition interlock and the car not start because of the yeast that is included in the Casey's pizza. There are multiple things that can set off a false positive that would prevent you from starting your car and potentially get you in trouble. Now, what I do is I send out a list of all the things that will potentially cause problems that I know of. Of course, I can't say everything every time, but what I do is try to tell my clients, watch out for this, watch out for this, and watch out for this, because it does happen. Ignition interlock can be a good thing. If somebody is really struggling, maybe it's that reinforcement. The vast majority of my clients, though, don't want to put that in simply because of the social stigma that goes along with it, or the embarrassment that their kids could potentially see it, or the simple fact that this ignition interlock could mess up the electrical system in their car. So a lot of times when I'm dealing with DWIs, I don't have my clients put those in the beginning, unless that's something that we all agree is necessary to help that client. What ends up happening is some sort of negative effect on a client's driver's license, and they have to get ignition interlock to be able to continue driving legally. Or perhaps it's an order of a court as a condition of probation, and you have to put it in there. Now, what I do is I try to warn the clients ahead of time to say, look, in 3 months, this may be happening, and that way the client can start getting their mind wrapped around it to know that that's what the process looks like.